Hey guys, it's Beth. Today I'm making a basket floral hanger. I used one of these baskets from Dollar Tree, this new burlap fabric from Dollar Tree, one of the hanging tag signs from Dollar Tree, some tumbling tower blocks, I used 6 of them, 3 craft sticks, Mod Podge, Cottage white chalk paint, some florals and greenery, Gorilla Glue, and hot glue. I started by removing as much of the paper as I could from the front and back of the sign. And what paper I couldn't get off, I just sprayed it with some water and used a razor blade to scrape the rest of it off, and then gave it a quick sanding on both sides. And then I painted both sides with the white chalk paint, and the front that I'll be doing is just 1 coat, the back I did 2. Once the paint was completely dry, I took the burlap fabric, placed it over the hanger, and just cut a piece a little bit bigger than the sign. Next, I applied a generous layer of Mod Podge on the front, so this is the side with just the 1 coat of paint, making sure to cover it completely and get all the edges. And then while the Mod Podge was still wet, placed down the fabric and smoothed it out the best I could with my hands, making sure to push down on all the edges. And then I used my heating tool to dry it, just pushing down the fabric as I went along, making sure it was nice and attached. And then once that was done, I just trimmed up the excess burlap around the edge. And then I did a layer of Mod Podge just on the edge where I had trimmed up the burlap just to prevent fraying. I did not do an outer layer of the Mod Podge on the front of the rest of it. Next, I used a square to just get the line straight where I'm going to cut it. So I just marked, it was about 1 inch out from the bottom, and then made it go straight up so it would hit the tag that I'm putting it on all in the same spot. So just mark those 2 lines and then cut both of those lines, and then on the bottom where they meet. Next, I took these craft sticks and I trimmed them to fit on the spots I'm putting them. I'm putting them across the sides and then the bottom. Just putting some hot glue. This makes sure to keep the basket all together where I had cut it. So just place the craft sticks right against the edge of the basket, hot gluing them into place. And next I took the Cottage white chalk paint again and painted the entire front side of the basket and the sides and the bottom, and I just gave that 1 coat. Next I took some Gorilla Grip Glue and hot glue, added it to the side of one of the tumbling blocks, and placed that right on that craft stick that I put on the side. And this will be to help attach the basket to the tag. So I just did that, 2 on each side and 2 on the bottom. Next, I added the Gorilla Glue and hot glue again to the sides of those tumbling blocks and placed it on the tag. And then I just took a small screwdriver and pushed through the hole again and added some twine back for the hanger. Then I added in some Spanish moss to the basket, cut up some of this eucalyptus, which I get from Walmart, and then cut a few of the roses. Those were also from Walmart, and placed those within the basket as well. And then I wanted to make a twine flower for the front of the basket. So I just take the twine and I wrap it around my hand about 10 or 15 times just to get it nice and full. Remove it from my hand, tie it in the center really tight. I make 2 of those. Then once those are made, I just spread the twine apart to make it a little more full. And then I hot glue one on top of the other going the opposite direction and hot glue it to the top of the basket. And I wanted to make something a little different for the center of the flower. So I take the twine, tie it in a knot, and then just keep wrapping the twine around that knot, keeping it nice and flat. I'll add the tiniest bit of hot glue to the side and then put some hot glue in the center of the flower and place that down and then trim up the excess twine. Then just a tiny bit more hot glue to close that up. And that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching.